A new Nanos survey shows most Canadians believe the government has not done well when it comes to developing a long-term vision for the country's energy future. Canadians are also more likely to prefer energy and environmental policy decisions influenced by advice from non-partisan public service officials than by the politics of the government. Joining me now to break all this down, Nik Nanos. He is the founder and chief data scientist at Nanos Research. Nik, thanks as always for joining us.
Good to see you, Roger.
All right, so this poll takes a look at Canadians, what they think of how we're doing when it comes to a long-term vision for the energy future, and not a lot of people impressed.
Well, yeah, I guess you're like stealing my thunder, Roger,
Sorry.
by telling people the results. I guess you didn't say the numbers.
I didn't give you. I saved the numbers for you and your interpretation of them.
That's very kind of you. So, anyways, so this survey that we did with the University of Ottawa's Positive Energy Initiative, so it's an academic group. We basically asked Canadians a pretty simple question. How good or bad a job has the government been doing for advancing a long-term vision for Canada's energy future? And, and the thing is when we ask Canadians about this particular question, you can see very few, 1%, think that we're doing a very good job. So 1 in 100 think that we're doing, hey, great job, Canada, on developing a long-term vision for energy. 8% think that we're doing a good job. But, when you look at the negatives, a 31% poor job, another 28% very poor. So the overwhelming response, Roger, is that that Canadians are not doing a great job, or the government's not doing a great job at having a long-term vision on the energy front.
Has it changed much in the last few years?
Well, it's actually gotten worse. Back in 2017, which is the benchmark in this positive energy survey, about 3% thought that we did a very good job, and another 17%. So think of it this way, about 20% of Canadians thought it was good, very good back in 2017. But, when we fast forward to the latest survey that we've done with positive energy, that's dropped basically down to 9%. So much fewer Canadians think that we're doing a good job on this compared to the 2017 benchmark.
And I'm going to guess oil and gas is probably a big factor in this.
Yeah, well, the interesting thing about oil and gas is that, when you look at perceptions on the importance of oil and gas to the economy, back in 2020 compared to 2024, what we're seeing is the proportion of Canadians who believe that oil and gas will be important to the economy today has actually improved and increased back from 2020, like from a 7.3 out of 10 to an 8. And even when we ask Canadians whether they think oil and gas will be important to the future back in 2020, that was a 5.8 out of 10. But, you can see that that's been increasing. So key takeaway here is that the importance score for oil and gas has increased in terms of its current impact on and importance to the Canadian economy.
And so this kind of plays out of the ballot box as well, I imagine.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of this has to do with people concerned about the rising cost of living and wanting to keep prices as low as possible. And, for many Canadians, they don't have many options, right? Like they've got to drive to work, you got to put gas in the car, and those options, at least currently, are cheaper than some of the other alternatives when you think of electric vehicles and the cost of an electric vehicle compared to a more traditional vehicle.
All right, Nik, thank you as always for your time, sir.
Take it easy.
Nik Nanos is the founder and chief data scientist at Nanos Research.